I believe we're live. So, how do I start? So first, seems like I'm going to be talking about the same stuff that Ryan is going to talk on Friday. Is I think the first or the second time we're doing something similar. So I think his one is going to be like more like interview, and mine is going to be like more hands-on. I never tried Astro before. I kind of knew that it was happening, and I thought that it's more like Gatsby, so like just regular static site generation, all of that stuff, kind of like Next.js maybe. If you think about static site generation, but Ryan placed it on kind of like NPA side and like on server side rendering side. So I tried to do some of the things with it today, and I didn't had too much success. So this is my first time trying Astro, and so far the biggest problem is that new version 1 like APIs and all of that stuff is not documented anywhere. So I'm like getting an example is for older version, getting like trying to read docs, and the docs are for older version. So it was a bit frustrating on that part, but yeah. So let's try. So I think my interest in it is, can I use it for SPA? Because it's built on Vite, and I tried to use Vite for our project, and it almost worked. So and Astro is really kind of like focused on delivering kind of like fast, performant, and all of that stuff. So yeah. So I have a few things that I wanted to mention, but I think it will probably like make more sense once we already get into it. Yeah, so let's try to read through this a bit. Yeah, so beta is available, which I mean, I think it's marked as like latest on npm. So I hope everyone is using package logs. Otherwise, you have like you have a chance of getting the wrong version of Astro instead of the one that is working. So let's click on some links. Let's see what they mean. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So Firebase Guardian already using Astro in production. I mean, good for them for 0 whatever version they are using, and now they have to rewrite everything. I actually tried to click through this, and I had some issues. I think not all of them are starting. That's the, oh no, it works now. So maybe they fixed it. Maybe it was, I just wasn't sure that working. So it's just the example folder that they have on a GitHub, and it's a bit poorly organized in a sense that it doesn't have like any readmes. So like this 4 letters is the only information that, no, actually for docs it's a bit better. Like this, like blog, it's a blog, you figure it out. So this like blog complex. So yeah, if you hover, it shows like blog multiple authors, and this one is just blog. So who knows? Read our getting started. Yeah, so I think this one is still for the older version, so it's still not great. Yeah, and like migration, it doesn't cover 1, I think. So yeah. So I don't know. It seems a bit silly. I think they probably should have written more documentation before releasing beta, but who knows? Yeah, I joked about it on Twitter. I tried to search for astro+, and it just searches for spas instead of single page applications. So yeah, Astro needs to like work on their SEO. Okay, so I guess let's start with roadmap. We're finalizing our APIs, implementing some breaking changes. Okay, I guess that's also like a says precision SSR. Right, so that's what I'm trying to figure out, how Astro basically like lives on this on this graph, how much you can actually trust them. Because yeah, because I'm most familiar with this quarter, I don't know, like this side, and I'm actually, maybe like that's not even true. I'm actually more familiar with single page applications that just don't have any server, so no SSG, no SSR. So I don't know, maybe like a third dimension. So it's a bit like a learning experience for me. So head, body, styles, scripts, naming, default render. Yeah, so I'm curious in like the Astro as a language itself. Batch content, I already know that this one is deprecated. Finish code, Prism, Shiki? What's Shiki? Okay, JavaScript, syntax highlighter, the Prism to Shiki. I'm actually, I just worked on like syntax highlighter for our website, and I wasn't too happy with how it worked. So maybe that's a good idea to look into this one. So it's jumping a bit. Okay, Astro request, whatever that means. Okay, so that link didn't work out. So anyway, so address private internal APIs, Astro slots, render Markdown, Astro raw, AST output, turbo mode, SPA mode has been playing around to replace duplicated turbo links. Okay, Nate. How do I find who's Nate? And how do I know where he was playing with that? Okay, benchmarks, not really interesting. Directives, RSS. As an alias to SRC. Yeah, I heard that some people like trying to use that. Sounds cool. Okay, so exports in components other than get static path. Yeah, so get static path is the one that kind of like confusing me. Okay, incremental builds. Right. So I think if we're talking about the static site generation, the more pages you have, the longer kind of like the build step takes. So I guess that's the context why they need incremental builds. Maybe like your changes don't touch everything on the website. Maybe there's like a way to cache something, or like don't update some path. User directives, have no idea what that means. Image component, I mean, just that's probably like the next, because Next.js has it. Shared context setup. Right, so I've heard about it. So the idea is that you can use maybe like Redux or like Zustand, I think Zustand, is to have like a global state, and then your components, even there, if they're written in different frameworks, they can kind of like talk with the same store, but no one no one kind of wants to work with yeah, sorry, my screen went messed up. So no one, I guess, wants to work with Redux. That's why they're trying to get something kind of like built in, or maybe simpler. I don't know. I haven't looked into like Astro language itself. I only kind of like saw it as kind of like JSX, kind of like HTML stuff. Okay, Astro create component API. Maybe that's if you don't want to use JSX, but if this is like a framework, what's the point? Maybe we're like for libraries or something. I don't know. So this doesn't make any sense for me. Let's move on. Okay, npm init astro, getting started. Okay, so for the leakage decay, JavaScript applications were typically run as single page applications. But too often we see teams blindly accepting the complexity of SPAs, even when business needs don't justify it. I mean, I wonder what they mean by complexity of SPAs. I guess like having a separate backend where you go for your data. What if a web framework designed for content focused web hooks? Right. But that's the thing. That's, I think, the main mismatch is that don't really work on content based websites. Okay, so let's finish the article, then we can talk about more of what I mean. Okay, JSX, Astro. Great web performance should be the norm. That's always sounds good. if a component is 100% static, Astro strips out of all of the JavaScript. I mean, I think that's what they do with the this, how do I say it? Like flags, when you can mark something as like being static or not static. So it's like not automatically defined, like trying to figure it out. Maybe like in React, if you use like use effect or like use state, then it's stateful and then it's like not 100% static. But I mean, that's probably like good enough for them. So we designed. What's happening with this website? For some reason, it tries to scroll by itself. So we designed Astro like language itself. So I think that's what you do with like file names. If you name your file like .astro, it will use Astro. If it's like .svelte or something, it will use different ones. I haven't really tested that. If you're familiar, if ever you sure. JSX, there are no render functions, no JSX to return. What's happening with the scroll? Okay, so it's more like a template language, so it's more like a Vue than React. I mean, probably makes sense. Right, and this is what they do is they're like kind of like Markdown, kind of like inspired like parts. Okay, so support fetch. So I mean, that means that fetch is going to be running on server, like during the SSG, like during the build step. Top level await, that I already noticed, and I think that's a nice touch of just making it like look nicer. Import and stuff. Is explicit import. I don't know what the alternative would be. Maybe some other frameworks did. Yeah, so you can use React, Vue, Svelte, Solid, Preact, and Lit. Yeah, that's what was surprising. When I tried to play with it and I built like a simple block template that they had, for some reason it had Preact dependency and Lit, yeah. And I'm still trying to figure out why. Maybe it's only like on server. Maybe they use server Preact or something. Because they ship like 0 JavaScript. Maybe they use it on server. Sure, you can use Solid in new project. I mean, I don't understand that point. I think I read it like 3 times and I still don't understand what it means. Sure, you can use Solid.js in a new project. Yes, but many tools make it impossible to incrementally try in your code base tools. I think it's because both, if you're trying mix and match in like React and Solid, both of them use JSX, you're probably like your build tool will probably like freak out. Is that what they're trying to say? Full rewrite. Yeah, so I don't know what that means. Can be a huge problem, especially large organizations. Yeah, but like you're asking me to framework login into Astro, so I don't know how well that point stands. With this in mind, we designed Astro to be completely framework agnostic. Right, except that you have your own kind of like framework. In both cases, you have like a framework that kind of like imports all of the other frameworks, and you have like Astro language. So build the best foundation. Yeah, I think that's actually like a good good project to solve. So theoretically, I think Astro is great. let's see how it will go in practice. Okay, it's streamlining infrastructure. I don't know about that part. It's like large organizations like Google have like millions of like endpoints. How you're going server side generate all of that? Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical. Right, but mixing and matching frameworks is, I guess, like is kind of like the future. Okay, so this is launch week. So April 5th, today is 6th. So going beyond static sites, does that mean that they already wrote it? Okay. So, okay, I missed that one. Right. So Jamstack, SSG, and such. SSR, API, adapters, some kind of video. Right, so the okay, let's quickly go through it just in case. Is SSR weren't possible before? Our unique server first approach with dynamic features like so is it dynamic like on server or dynamic like in app? So can Astro do SSR? I mean, Astro as like a Gatsby replacement is sounding fine, but I think like Gatsby can add it. Astro as a server-side framework sounds like a just like universal good. So I think, at least in my mind, I think it's like Astro as like as without SSR, it's like not as interesting, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so when we set out to build Astro, we were thinking about Jamstack, right? I mean, for a Jamstack, they're lacking single page application kind of like flavor of it. So I don't know. Large sites can't pre-render static HTML. Yep. Dynamic sites can pre-render without forcing you to rebuild and redeploy. Like, okay, large dynamic interactives without moving all user data to client. Yeah. From day one, we knew Ireland architecture uniquely. Yeah, because you can use like islands for, I don't know, like your user avatar could be like in one framework, your like card could be in the other, and your, I don't know, like project description could be like in third one. So I think it's the thing that makes sense. Anyway, so SSR is well understood solution for scanning large websites. I mean, compared to SSG, they mean? Take the user authentication. We need to check. Right, so like cookies are more secure than local storage, that we know. Okay, I'm kind of lost what they're trying to do here. We're doing client-side authentication. Yeah, it has its own limitations. And next, Gatsby Svelte. So Gatsby has SSR. I guess I didn't follow what Gatsby does. Here it's in its SSG side, so okay. Astro was designed to run on the server. Okay, as you say. SPA first. I mean, that's the problem. Like, you're saying SPA first, but oh yeah, actually, I signed up on their like Discord, but I never actually like asked the question. I was going to ask them how do they use SSR. I guess they have like a general chat. Maybe that I can ask it there. Hey guys. No, that's not general, neutral. Hey, what is the best resource to build SPA Astro? Okay. Yeah, sorry, that wasn't that wasn't best like streaming experience, but I just hope that someone will answer while we are doing all of this. Because when they say SPA first, that means they at least have SPA last approach, but I haven't seen it. Here is user authentication works in Astro. So if we weren't able to sign in, we're redirecting to login, but otherwise we're just using some kind of like API to sign in. I mean, it really depends on how how get user is implemented. In the Astro component, you write server code directly in the component front matter space. Okay, so all of this stuff is server side. Then I guess if I import the component here, you can also do server-side stuff. And if I use React or something, how do I explain it? Which part runs where? Okay. Also, front matter is like single function call that takes a request and returns a template. Okay. Since it's a function. Okay. I wonder how that works with TypeScript, because how do we know here that user is defined and is that type? Because like when we do like early return here, we TypeScript would know that user after here is going to be like not nullable. Yeah, but I don't know how that's going to work. Okay, so API route with file folder that takes a request, returns a response. Okay, I think I saw that. API routes. Okay, so that's just stuff that that you're importing here. Okay, I guess. API route file pages. Okay, you're confusing me. So this one is in pages then. Or is it SSR pages API or is it SSR API? Okay, this is a bit confusing. Build a form of submission. Will upload header. Right. So I think they're talking about different things. So this is more like how Remix would run or something. Or like next, when this is like get server side props or something, or like Remix loader that runs on server for this route. But this one is just like a kind of like Express server, the one that's, yeah, okay, I guess we will see. So it gets like post get and so on. So file path is does routing. Then once we know the route, we can do like post get and all of that stuff, I guess. So adapters. Okay, someone responded. Really specialized, but you can certainly beat SPA. You can create index that serves SPA as a component, then configure a server to serve to all requests that come in. Are we talking about something like redirect, directive in Li-Fi? Okay. Okay. When we built Astro SSR, we saw how different frameworks do it. So SvelteKit and Remix, I guess that's the most like modern ones. Okay, so Fred himself said that you should probably try Vite instead of Astro. Okay, so if the framework author says that you're doing something wrong, I guess that's the time to double down and go through it anyway. Okay. Anyway, so pluggable host adapters. Oh, I see what they mean. Yeah, because they need to be able to configure a website to run on like different host environments. Right. So I mean, it's cool to try deno deploy like something like Edge, but I'm more interested in Netlify just because that's what we use. Yeah, and you can deploy to Node and deno. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, exciting stream. I'm typing in Discord. Okay, so he said some stuff to try, so we will do that anyway. So SSR is experimental, I guess. We will we will try to bite a bullet. Hosting providers, yeah, I think they already support Netlify, so I'm not that concerned about it. Unofficial sponsor, right? Is it? That's great. uh, yeah, so I tried that. So I tried to add like Netlify adapter, and I haven't deployed it yet, but uh, like I looked into dist folder and it looked reasonable. Okay, they're showing some warnings. I wonder if that's good. Okay, so it's available today as an experimental API. Blah blah blah. No one cares. And this new one, the themes integrations. Yeah, so I think I looked into integrations because of the. I think like React is an integration. Markdown integration. That sounds great as well. Sample projects, that's what I saw, and started templates. Isn't that the same thing? Asto. They have a typo. Should I just tweet to them, or once I have the person in Discord, maybe that's my chance. Here the link. Oh, I can probably link to this one. Yep. Here the link. And I selected. Okay, start. Link starter templates is to is pointing on to so astro ink theme. What's our string? Blog theme. Okay. I guess that's like the whole template, right? Is astro blog written in astro? I would assume so. Okay, so yep. And they have light dark theme, which is always so what they do is for a forest. Okay, that's like I think that's like a Vercel 404, so they don't have their own. Okay. Okay, so Astro themes. Starter templates. Oh, I think I also saw that one. So yeah, this one is from official. Yeah, but this one is not. Okay. That's could be good. And I guess this one is okay. I recently announced it. Yeah, CMS is probably like interesting one to integrate. Anyway, so our recently announced integration possible to bring your integrations catalog. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I also saw that one. Yep, React. Right, and I looked into this one, but it didn't make any sense. Yeah, so maybe we'll have to look at it. Astro node are separated down. Astro theme. Why do you need Astro theme as an integration? Themes feature. Is it like just CSS stuff? Headers. Logo. Isn't that more like a package? Import header. You need. Don't understand why it has to be. this file be just like a package? Why is it has to be like a template? Oh yeah, that's not really a command. Component for static rendering of commands. This allows you to build component in any language. Don't understand what that means. So I guess since it's a static site generation, as long as you have this stuff on the host, so it's like 0 something here, so it's before server side rendering, you can run basically like any command. You can run cat /etc/password. Yeah, cool. Turbolinks. Yeah, this, I think like RFC mentioned that or something. So let's look what that means. Turbo is, yeah, it's for like Ruby. Plug and play solution that brings single page app routing to your site. Performant navigation. Astro add turbolinks. To find each page request passing through turbolinks. I guess they would need to have again, maybe it's for older version of Astro. Maybe not. So index and client. So this is how the plugin is getting installed. So it's a plugin that that hooks into setup and injects script. Okay. Import turbolinks. Okay. I see. So this gets injections into page. Okay. And import turbolinks. See, so just adds it to basically like browser runtime. So I guess then integration is Partytown is pretty similar. So it does hook into config setup, which will, yeah, it will like install the script itself. The config. Oh, I guess that's the past config values to the plugin. Yeah, uses it here, but does it use it? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so I'm a bit confused. They're not using the config. Okay, maybe that's like for the future, for the next version. But then this is config setup and this is server setup. So like for something like Express, I guess they are adding like a route like what is serve? Okay, how does it work with different adapters? I think you guys would be much easier to just use a subdomain. Okay, so build done. And yeah. And that's the stuff that they need to serve with serve. Commented out stuff. Yeah, this looks a bit kind of like immature. It's 404. So is it like exported function, or how do they use 404? Oh, I see. So that's like the function, default function. Press to find the directory. It reads like, oh, maybe that's options for the Astro itself. Okay. Mentions. Zip. Wow, it's so involved. Probably needs to be like a package by itself. Is SBA. What? What? No one said there's going to be some kind of single. Okay, I think that's time when I need to um, check out the when I need to try some Oster stuff, because I wanna test the config. So let's go to npm init Astro. Yeah, I'm a bit upset that they're using npm everywhere. Door is not empty. Okay, so yes, yeah, that's the one that I try to do. Oh, I guess I was running. I was running it. Oops. Anyway, so npm Astro. Yeah, go to your blog. Yeah. So maybe I need template. Yeah. I think that one is using latest Astro. Yeah, beta. Great. So npm. I guess I can use yarn. No one can stop me. You can't. What is happening? But God, back to God. Binary version of ES build. So did yarn install wrong version, or what's happening? Okay, so does npm work? Oh, maybe npm doesn't care. So everything was working. Maybe I just need like a yarn log or like npm log or whatever it's called, package log from that one, and maybe it will work. That's what you get for trying better versions. Yarn wasn't installed. Okay, so that's the stuff. So let's start dev. It started. Okay, so that's the blog. Yeah, we'll also need to try to figure out how to use it with Tailwind, but I think they have the config. So let's do open folder. I think probably this one. Above the frame. Oh no. Oh yeah, so SPA, need the subserver router to always return the same HTML. Something like serve blog index, or this isn't author specific. Any SPA has environment. Okay, so I tried doing SPAs with Next, and it was kind of working. Okay, so what as big, but for example, Next.js as right option in config, so you can do that. Okay, so that's That's not the way I tried it. So I did like, I remember it was something like app. Try to check it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I tried. Blog. Um, okay. Anyway, so we we were going to look into config. Okay, so this one actually has Preact. So maybe that's what I saw. Maybe that's why why I had Preact. Anyway, so I was going to check single because we saw it. Where do we see it? In the code. Single. Maybe it's party down option then. Party down option. Have config or duration. Single. Nope. Where did they get it? why why is that single option exist then? Is SBA. E tag. Yeah, E tag doesn't seem like a astro option as well. So who knows? No E tags, no single. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so was that it? So let's start doing some stuff, I think. I think the Discord thing kinda didn't work out. I mean, he kind of confirmed what I was thinking, but anyway. So this is the template that we got, and now we run it on port 3000, and I think first thing I want to try is to add React instead of Preact. So what will happen if I turn Preact off? I think it kind of like restarts with new config, which is also great. I mean, not also, but always great. Okay, so home. Okay, so nothing. Nothing is broken, which means that maybe we are testing it wrong. So let's look at it. What is it? Oh, modules. Okay. So public is just like absolute kind of like stuff. So this is a global CSS, and it works. This is data. Makes perfect sense. This is layout. Okay, so this layout has post.astro. So I guess it's not used for all the pages, just for some of the pages. Okay, so it's HTML main head. Okay, so let's just comment out main head and see if that does something. No, it doesn't. Okay, if I remove this, doesn't seem to be affecting it as well. Now, okay. So not working for any of that stuff. It only works kind of like that. So pages past the layout. I see now. Okay, so if I touch chapter 3 and remove layout from it, that's pretty interesting. So what it doesn't allow me to see source. So I think it means that it sends it as document plain text or something. Rest. Content type text HTML. So it is HTML. I just can't view source. So we have use scripts. That's a bit wild. Guess maybe that's just because it's a. Oh. Okay, and we client astro+script. Okay, so we know all of that stuff. So how do we get to the React stuff? Why is it working for us? I guess it's components. No, this doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, so I think I want to try this. So they said that you can do like some astro commands. Yeah. So astro preview, astro check. Root. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for a blog. So astro add netlify. So we'll make the following changes. Okay. Astro will run following command. I mean, it's probably pretty good when you're like when you wrote like npm package and you can just ask your users to run this command instead of like trying to. Yeah, I think I like this idea. Okay, so this is what we're trying. This is the config that they created. It got a bit messed up because of the React stuff. Oh yeah, so they added like a config reference. I mean, it was there. Right. So what I'm going to run is yarn build, which failed. Invalid URL. Right. So this is not a great user experience again. It doesn't like explain what is happening. It doesn't explain how to fix it. I kind of like saw in some other configs what is happening, so I wasn't like that confused by it. But I think for someone who just trying to get stuff from the whatever the pages they have for like templates and stuff, and it doesn't work, it's not great to look. Anyway, so no such file or directory. Okay. Again, I guess like it's a public images chapter. What's wrong? Netlify images. Which Netlify? No, images is not created. I didn't get it. Why is the new file every time? Does it remove it? Yeah, and again, there's like no no clear way to debug this or fix this or so on. So, oops. I wonder why is it working for me before? Maybe I was checking different different versions of something. Yeah, so far if you copy it from template, like npm install doesn't work. Now if you do netlify, if you do build with netlify, it doesn't build. So yeah, so far it's not going too great. The last stream was like me trying to use bun and like nothing was working, and this is me trying to use astro, nothing is working. Okay, we should I don't know. Okay. Deno's also Deno also sounds fun. So I guess there is no way to remove integration once we added it. And it's not hard to remove integration. It just find it silly. Okay. This. Okay. So add, instead of netlify, add deno. Yes. Sure. And belt. Okay, it's the same thing. I guess let's just remove images for now. Maybe if the image wasn't inside a Markdown file like that, it would work. Okay, so let's look at what we got there. It's client, server, and entry. If I get to here, does it explain how to run it? Start false. What's what that mean? After there's a module, you can start a server by simply importing this module. Okay, so that's start false will not create like a side effect on the import. If disabling start, you need to write your own web server and use handle. Sure, which is probably okay if you're trying to do multiple things on the server. And also pass. Oh, you don't need to do it if you do false. Okay, so let's this entry, and this is wrong URL. Okay, more things that are wrong. So I'm in deno right now. So if I do deno, which is it deno run? Yeah, deno run server entry. Listen, I need to add allow net. Well, it will probably ask for files as well because 8085 no server error because I allow read. Yep. Read, and I think you can do something like that. Yeah. But basically, like it doesn't have access to like /etc or something. Or okay, so does it mean it works? I don't see CSS working. So assets, images. Okay, so it probably needs to get that stuff from client, but it doesn't because client stuff is in the different stuff. So I wonder if I'm inside client and I run something like that. Nope. So it doesn't use like current directory, it uses probably. Okay, we can probably, yeah. This stream is slowly becoming me learning stuff about Dinos again. So, does it have something like that? Manifest. CSS. Right. It's curious how it kind of like bundled everything. So, right. So probably we'll start with server. The server started on this port and gets options from somewhere. Oh, if start is not okay, so it doesn't. So now it does handler, which is app render, and not found. Private get, route type page, endpoint. Yeah, because it has to do like server APIs as well. So let's look into private get. Access check, read from a private field. Oh, I think I think I misunderstood what that means. Okay, so let's go to server again. Listen and serve. Sure. Handler. Render. Okay. Private. Yeah, I guess it's just like a compilation stuff. So it gets page map component. Don't support it. Okay, so console log. Route data. Oh, save without formatting. Okay, so let's start it again. So type page component segmented stuff, but what about this one? Okay, so we don't get. Okay, so it doesn't get a match route, path name. Yeah, I think it's broken in too many ways for me to for me to figure it out. Okay, so I think we're done with Dino for now. Let's remove it. And let's try to do node, I think. Let's just do like add node. Let's see what it does. Okay, so build. Oh, they actually said that they have like preview. I wonder if that's going to work. Nope. Okay. So let's ist server. Okay, so let's build it again. I didn't see where the build is. Ist. Oh, okay. So will no energy work? No. Okay. How do I think about it? Okay, so let's see. Our site is wrong because I think the port is 80. Yeah, let's go to the server. So no adapter. Start an adapter. Okay, let's read some docs. Where we were reading that. So node. Yeah, so this one. Okay. Yeah, so you have it doesn't start by itself. You have to write after performing a build. There is an entry. You could use it any framework that responds. For example, Express. You can do blah blah blah. Adapter does not require to use Express, and you can use with HTTP. Okay. So if I go to build in dist, and if I write index.js, and it's just this. Code Express npm. No, I guess index.js, index m.js. And it's no longer dist. Okay. So something happened, and it's going to be 8080. Okay. So no assets again. Yeah. I think most of those problems are going to be fixed once docs are kind of like in place and all the modules are kind of like updated to each other and so on. Yeah, it's not a great look anyway. uh, so why did preview not work? What's the difference between preview and dev? I don't understand. Beta 4 already. Okay, at least dev is working, so let's not dwell. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe like I wrote the wrong port. That's why it doesn't work. So I kind of don't feel like I trying this, but okay. So let's reset everything how it was. Okay, so I dev. Okay. Route cache. Okay, so I think that's going to be the last thing that we will try. We will try reactor solid, I think. Oh yeah, I was going to mention this one because my original idea was to kind of like have SPA and there is this thing that is called SPA. I think it's somewhat similar to like TurboLink one. I really tried to understand why it's SPA because I think the main idea behind it is just to improve kind of like your links, so you're not doing like full page reloads that you usually do. When I kind of click on this stuff, it does full page reloads, which for small page like that, it actually it's not any different. But yeah, it's not the SPA experience that I'm looking for. I'm looking at kind of like having a yeah. So I think the one that I'm looking at is like completely like client side, completely like kind of like React user router, React router DOM, I think. Yeah. For fetching, single page navigation, and so on. So it's not it, but we wanna try. Oh yeah, I was going to look into Tailwind as well. So let's just read through README. I guess we won't have time to try it. Maybe we will. Let's try it, Tailwind. That makes sense. Oh no, Yarn doesn't work because of the log stuff. And that's why, kids, you should do some preparation before stream. If I didn't have that log file, we wouldn't do anything today for the whole stream. So, yay. Okay, so install Tailwind. Getting started. It's for custom config. You don't really need that. Apply reset false. So F. So now I guess we expect to see some styles. Yeah, some default styles. Okay. How does it know what to do? So let's say that I want to do post layout. And here for the title, I want text pixel or something. Maybe it's different title. Oh yeah, I can probably check the Tailwind version. It's tail. The version 3. Never actually tried version 3 before. So anyway. So text JXL, base CSS. It seems like all the preset stuff. And yeah, this seems like a just stuff that needs to be compiled. So now what if I go to the about page? It's base CSS from Tailwind. Huh. How did they do it? Okay. So now I go to about page. Do I load the same CSS stuff? Right. So, I mean, gray 100. Now, this page that doesn't use background gray 200 still has all that stuff, but this is just how Tailwind works. So I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of like pointing out the obvious. Okay, so anyway, so React, we'll do add React, sure. So what does that mean? Which version did we get? It's kind of like strange way to write it, but I guess just in case if you have it already. Okay, so it's the latest. Oh no, yeah, but I was going to run this one. Okay, so now the most interesting stuff. use first React component, you'll explore. Okay, so this is, again, I think this is like an older documentation. So now let's go to, I don't know, like about, and say that, I don't know, you have clock or something, counter. And my counter comes from, yeah, and I guess like network tab, just to look at like 274 transmitted. Now let's add counter.tsx, and let's go to components, counter.tsx. Oh yeah, I was going to check if the TypeScript stuff works. Okay, I can check it. So here, title is any. Okay, so where do we use it? Title. Nowhere. So I think you can do it like that. No. Okay. Origination, rough. Yeah. So it's any. Now, if I have const x is 1 through 3, I think like string or undefined, something like that. So x is string. Now what? Yes, next URL is string. And if I add or undefined here, still string. I guess like TS config is not set properly. You need some kind of strict. Yeah, probably like nothing will compile now. Okay, so, oh yeah, so this is what I was going to, like if like not pre-URL, throw your now pre-URL is okay, so it works. And if I return, I don't know, like redirect, yeah, it also works. Okay, that was like the example that they gave, and I was curious if that's going to work. It seems like it will. So counter. So export default, I guess. So React from React. So this one is React to state. Why is everything is no React to this? Okay. Not find a declaration. Oh, I see. Which is I guess a bit silly, but yeah, not everyone's using TypeScript, so I guess it makes sense for them. Okay, so wait, I think I wanted to turn off strict because it's probably like too strict for the stuff that we have. Okay. And then elevating about. Counter. Okay. Fade to load. I guess I also expected to be exported. Yeah. Okay. So astro+react example. Okay, again, this is for like older version. Okay, so find load. We need this or maybe our counter does too much. So they have a React starter. I guess I can also like install it. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe we'll have the same problem as npm log. No? Maybe they fixed it. So there. Okay. Hello React. Okay. And yeah, just because I was going to to try React, it's I need to make it work this some way. Maybe it's JavaScript, TypeScript stuff. Maybe for TypeScript they need to have like more settings or more whatever. Okay, so it's also React 18. Okay, so now let's go to pages. Yeah, so I was going to check all the client stuff. Yeah. So if you turn off client, it's basically like, yeah, that was the idea. So right now it's 70 kilobytes, of which most of it is probably like the hot module reload stuff. Yeah. So, and now we do client visible, and we are getting 1 megabyte. Why? Is it so big? Leaped. I guess no. Those. So tweet scheduler React DOM. Yeah. I guess it's like a dev build, so it's even bigger. But yeah, that's the. So will astro preview like work in the production mode? No. and the node and stuff didn't work as well. So maybe we can try Netlify again and try like Netlify dev, but not today. it's getting too late. Okay. So we have this counter which works on client visible, and we also have like client. Oh yeah, it's also works with autocomplete. Client idle, load, media only, visible. Client only. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, HMR breaks CSS for some reason. It's a client only, so if we look at page source, I guess that means just hello React and probably just a placeholder. How does it know astro root template? So how does it know where to install the React stuff? Astro fragment. Wait a second. So it's main. This one is counter. Yeah, I like that all the like TypeScript and like going through files and all of that stuff works. Okay, so what's the story with so it's a button, pre-button, and all of that stuff. But what is astro fragment? Oh, because this is a child, and we're rendering child here, it becomes an astro fragment. So that's probably because we could have a state here, and if it changes here, like by astro, yeah, so I don't have React Chrome extension here, so let me install it. Oh. What happened? Did I not install it? Page is running development. Yeah, but why you're not showing the thing? Okay, I guess they need to restart it. So static HTML counter. And if I have two counters, I guess I'll show them separately. It has to have those props. What? Is it like absolutely positioned or something? Why is it? Why is it like that? Why I don't see the both of the counters? What's happening? Okay, it's getting too late. So set text, set HTML, client visible, client idle. I guess client idle is not working. So client media. Oh yeah, I would have to write the media query for it. So load was working. Okay, I broke it. Okay, it's too easy to break. They need to do something about it. The package incorrected exports. What's wrong with its exports? Okay. Oh, you can see actually like it jumping. So it took some time to, but you don't see it on load. See it on load only. You see it on visible? No. Yeah, I'm wondering what's the code that actually like loads the React stuff. I mean, it shouldn't jump because we do server-side rendering with the same HTML. We just like hydrate it later. So that's why when it's client only, we didn't have any HTML before. And that's why it was jumping. Okay, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, that's the story, kids. It's like 1 megabyte. Oh yeah, it's more because we have extension now. I guess I can turn it off for now. Yeah, so it's 1 megabyte like that, and 70 kilobytes if you just need layout. I mean, why would you need layout if you're using client only? If you're not using React at all, like, wouldn't Astro code and like React code basically be the same? Because it's only kind of like, yeah. So we haven't looked into like client-side stuff on Astro. Does that mean it doesn't exist? You can do server-side stuff, and I guess like static side generation, but it doesn't look like the Astro language itself has, I don't know, how do I write like on click here? Like that? Is that the approved way of doing it? Canonical, the right way. I think that's the theme of my last two streams. This is pretty cool if it works, but for some reason it didn't for some time. Anyway, we're streaming for 2 hours. It's too late. I wanted to start early today, but it didn't work out. Yeah, so I guess it's not that good, and there's still hope for me writing my own framework that would solve every problem possible. Yeah, I think I like the ergonomics of like this island architecture, where this counters like React, the next component that you write is Svelte or Vue or whatnot. So I think that looks looks great. I think I like that they somehow managed for it to work with like TypeScript and stuff. Maybe not with strict TypeScript. Is that what our issue was? I think it works with strict TypeScript as well. Yeah, but my issue is that I don't really work too much with server side or statically generated stuff. So for me, it's a bit of like a mismatch. I mean, the hope was that I could have like few server side render pages, maybe like a login page or something that needs to do like AWS Cognito, all of that crazy stuff. And maybe I would kind of like offload it to separate route so that my regular app doesn't have to like think about it. Yeah, but it seems like my issue is that like in a config, I need to have some kind of like rewrite options, which doesn't seem like they're there. And right, so if I had rewrites, if maybe I had in the, yeah, so I was going to check that one. Yeah. So they said that, yeah, just do index astro, but it doesn't work like that. So you have to have like you have to deploy it to netlify, for example, and in netlify you would have to write yeah, I didn't get to that example, but how do I get there quickly? So say I wanna have something like that. So basically, like, I want this file to handle this page. No, you have to use get static path. So get static path, what we write it here. Return true. Yep. So export this in function. Oh, I forgot to export it. Okay. So yeah, just return an empty array. Yeah. So right now it's not found, but if I return yeah, I return guess like slug 1. So still returns for a 4, but if I do 1, it works. So basically, like, I need to have all of my IDs ready, which doesn't work because like this is like ID I need to get like to database and get. So I need to use server-side rendering, or I need to either move everything from my single page application into server-side rendering if I want to use like any routing at all, or I need to have my own rewrites like for netlify or something that will like redirect to the same index like index astro, right? But then how do I test it on a dev server? I guess I need to have like a server that will do all the redirects into astro. So anyway, so the thing, so I think what I'm going to try is you can do like path, I think it's called side path, server path. No, it's port side something. Anyway, so there is like a base, right? So I can do like blog, and basically I can write like blog blog website that can completely be like server side generated and stuff, and then on my regular website I can just add like one redirect to the blog, and that's kind of like the only way I can try astro. Yeah, anyway, I feel like I didn't have like enough energy to explain everything that I'm thinking about. So let's let's call it a stream. I think Astro is pretty cool, but still misses few features that they need. And I wish it was a bit more stable. But then again, it's actively developed. As you've seen in the beginning of the stream, we could install the package. By the end of it, we could. So I guess they're fixing it right